You've described your leadership approach as dynamic and relational, strategic, fair, and transparent. Can you kind of elaborate on how these qualities have shaped your management style in such a complex environment when we're talking about IT, tech, and the outer layer of also the contact center space?
Well, let's be real. If we look at building an environment, building a cohesive environment, you have to start at the grassroots of it. I'm not your traditional resume reader. I'm not looking for the most certifications or the most wow words on your resume. I'm interested in the dynamic piece of it. How are you going to fit in with the group? Are you going to create? Are you going to be part of a team? Can I visualize the team working with you and really trusting you and really supporting you? Because at the end of the day, I think as long as you have a team full of skilled people, I mean, don't get me wrong, you have to have at least the basic skill sets and the comprehension of the job at hand. But at the end of the day, you have a support system. You're not here to be the star. I'm not here to be the star. We need to work together as a team and support each other. And what better way to do that than to bring in folks or grow folks that really want to help each other. And that's, to me, what is rewarding out of the process, is to really see the team, just step back and see the team supporting each other and doing it with validity, not because they have to. They really want to help each other.
So when you talk about fairness, right, that's such a subjective term, right? And sometimes people will say, well, that's not fair. Or you're saying, well, let's find something that's fair. How do you define fairness, and how do you actually manage fairness when it's left up to interpretation among people?
It definitely is. And I think for me, what fair means is looking at the situation objectively. What are we making a decision on? How does it impact you? How does it impact me? How does it impact the third person? We have to look at it in that way. And I think that, to me, is what fair means, is we want to make sure that what we're doing today is consistent with what we're doing tomorrow. And that if I'm doing something or making a decision for you that benefits you, that I can make that same decision for anybody else on the team. And that's where I would tie the fairness together.
Yeah, I think when you add that last piece in your leadership approach of transparency, right? That honesty, that openness allows for the conversation to happen. When there's a hidden agenda, when there is an inability for people to feel that you're actually being open and transparent with them, then talking about fairness and whether or not there isn't some ulterior motive becomes very difficult to have. And so it's really important to have that. But to have those kinds of conversations, right? You as a leader have to be able to not only have that confidence, but have a speaking ability, the communication skills to be able to do this. And I know that you've mentioned that you participate in Toastmasters and you engage in networking groups and you do these things to really keep your leadership skills sharp. So for those that don't know what Toastmasters is, can you kind of give us a little insight into what that is? And when you talk about leveraging, engaging, networking, things of that nature, how has that helped and give you the experience to contribute towards that professional development, but also helping others be more successful in their roles?
No, sure. So for those of you that know Toastmasters, a lot of people think of Toastmasters as a speaking engagement or a public speaking organization or membership, but it's also a listening opportunity as well as it's a leadership opportunity. And I say that because Toastmasters involves different roles, and in those roles you develop your leadership skills. You have officer roles within each of the clubs and organizations, and it allows you to step up even into district and area and other officer roles that can expand your skill set as well. But even on a daily meeting agenda, you're conducting yourself in a leadership fashion. You're following an agenda. You're leading the group. Each person, there's no one real particular leader, although there's hierarchy of officer roles. Everybody in Toastmasters is really a leader. They're bringing something to the table. They're adjusting to the agenda. And I think it brings the opportunity, of course, as you mentioned, networking. So now you're surrounding yourself with other like-minded folks, opening doors in other areas, maybe exchanging ideas and being able to bounce off ideas from each other. And from my personal perspective, I've sat back and observed more seasoned Toastmasters and started to figure out, well, how can I apply this to myself? How can I improve my ability? How can I improve my speaking ability? How can I improve my leadership ability? And it's through the opportunity to not only work with, but also observe other members. And from there, I've actually found myself so interested in Toastmasters. I'm actually part of 2 different Toastmaster clubs and active president of both. So I really embrace it, enjoy it, and I promote it and socialize it and encourage all my teammates to at least entertain the opportunities